Millions of jobs are being replaced by AI voices. So, whose voice is it really? You'll find out today on Hacks Labs. Hey guys, I'm your host, Hank Groff with Hacks Labs. If you haven't already done so, make sure that you like this episode if you get something out of it. And make sure that you subscribe to our channel. You'll get more great information. And finally, share it with others because I think it's important what we're going to talk about today. Okay, let's get started. So, somewhere right now, someone's calling a customer service call center, and the voice is answered isn't a person anymore. Now, a lot of people here like that. They say it because I can't understand the individual talking to me on the other side. They're from various countries like India and parts of Liberia and different places. I don't understand what they're saying. Well, this story then is going to be important to you because the world is changing. Now, that's not a prediction. This is already happening at a scale most people don't even realize. And I want to talk to you guys out there about a part of this story actually is not even yet happening, which is whose voice is doing the replacing. Now, this is something we're going to talk about, and that's what's actually happening with real numbers behind it. Most of you have talked to someone in the Philippines. I served in the U.S. Navy, and back in those days, in the 80s, the Philippines was a huge base influx of my Filipino brothers who served with me in the U.S. Navy. Today, they run the largest dedicated customer service workforce on the planet. Call centers and outsourcing make up one of the largest country's biggest industries, employing close to 2 million people. The trade group representing this entire industry has cut down its long-term forecast. They used to project 2.5 million jobs by 2028. Now they've just revised that number down between 1.85 and 2.14 million. Revenue targets have also been cut from a $59 billion projection down to as low as about $43 billion. Now, it still sounds like a ton of money, but it's a massive reduction. And what is happening? What's causing this? The reason, cited directly, was AI. A global consulting firm known as Kearney has publicly warned that the Philippines needs to diversify its economy, specifically because AI is threatening to reduce a lot of these call center jobs out there. And that's sad because they've been a part of a huge wave to help build that whole thing. Now let's talk about the human side. I want to slow down because it's easy to talk about job forecasts like it's just a number on a slide. But here's the reality, it's not. This is the industry that turned into a genuine economic engine for an entire country. It's not just that country. Places like India and others have been utilized, and even Latin America now on the Western Hemisphere. Countries like Belize and countries like Colombia and Honduras even. The other day, I spoke to someone. I said, "Where are you from?" They said, "Honduras." Real people built careers in this. Real families eating and being paid for this work. Now, and to be fair, the short-term picture isn't collapse. The sector actually added more than 60,000 jobs in 2025 alone. That's growth, not shrinkage. But the long-term forecast just moved in one direction, and everyone inside the industry knows exactly why. The routine, scripted parts of the job, the parts that follow predictable patterns, are the parts most exposed. And that's most of what an entry-level call center job actually is. You guys have talked to them. You pick up a phone, need a quick question, information that would help you make a decision, whether it's maybe building one of these things here that I bought and I needed some instructions or questions answered, or it's buying a particular product and needs something answered on that. Things that almost anyone could answer at an entry level. So here's the part I actually want to talk about. And this is it. And I'll be straight with you. This next part in my read on where this is heading, not something that's already been reported. Every one of those calls that used to go to a human now has to be answered by something. And increasingly that something is going to be an AI voice agent. Now, those of you who are actors, you know, you go, well, what does this matter to me? I'm not a call center agent. I don't work in that world. Well, here's the reality. AI is not going away. It's moving forward, and it's getting involved in everyone's work life. And here's the reality. Many of you have incredible voices, and probably quite a few of you have actually worked in call centers in that type of job environment. Quick history on me. When I got out of the military about 4 years later, I went to work for ADT Security. I became one of their top salesmen in the whole United States, but everything I did was over the phone at a call center, selling over the phone. So I got to get quite a bit of experience, 7 years being on the phones talking to people. And some of you who are voice actors have done that type of work. That voice has to come from somewhere. It's not generated out of nothing. Every AI voice on every one of those calls that are now being used in the AI world was built by training a model on someone's actual voice. That's how that works. And right now, the industry has a choice nobody is carefully forcing it to make. Build that voice on something scraped from wherever, unlicensed, uncredited, unpaid, or build it on a voice that was recorded with the actor's knowledge under a real agreement with real pay attached. Both options produce a voice that can answer a phone call. Only one of them treats a human being like a human being. So here's why this matters if you're a working voice actor watching this. This isn't a story I'm telling you to be alarmed by. It's a story about where the actual opportunity sits. If the industry builds this the right way instead of the cheap way. Now, every company replacing an outsourced call center with an AI voice agent is making a sourcing decision right now, today, whether they realize it or not. Whose voice is this? Did that person agree to do this work? Are they getting paid every time it's used? Not once, but every time, live, when it's interacting with the customer. That's the exact gap that Hacks Labs exists to close. Wherein a business license, a digital voice replica through us for something like a digital voice assistant, or you may hear it known as an AI call agent, the actor behind it said yes first, knows exactly how it's being used, and gets paid for it ongoing, not a single flat check and then silence, okay? And that gap isn't just about call agents. We're building out something we call the Hacks Vault. You can see it on our website. Go to hacks-labs.com, hax-labs.com. And at the top, you'll see where it says the Hacks Vault, okay? One place where our actors can see every opportunity coming through the door, casting calls and auditions. Now, in order to see this, you would, of course, need to be a signed up agent with us, a call talent and a voice talent with us, but you would then have access to be able to see these casting calls, so to speak, and auditions for AI call center agents. But we also will be showing casting calls, auditions for audiobooks, corporate narrations, even characters for anime and games. Same principle every time. You see the work, you choose it, you get paid for it. I'm not going to tell you this transition isn't real or that it's not costing real jobs everywhere in the world. It is, okay? But the voice replacing those jobs doesn't have to be no one. It can be a real person. I can belong to someone who chose this on their own terms. So let's talk about this further. What's happening and how we are going to influence this. Now, here's something that you can actually do about this starting this month in August. Okay, on Thursday, August 7th at 2 p.m. Eastern, we're hosting a live 1-hour session on Zoom, an introduction to AI call center agents. We're going to walk through exactly how we're building those agents for real clients, the actual process start to finish, not a sales pitch. If you're a voice actor on our roster, this is where you will see step by step how a voice actor becomes the voice of an AI call center agent, okay? And how a potential voice actor becomes an actual character for the ones we build next. It's the same pipeline that feeds the Hacks Vault, so you're seeing where these casting calls and auditions actually come from before they ever land in an inbox. And if you're a business owner, this is where you get to see what actually takes place to build one for your company. Okay? So you're going to get an email invitation to this in the coming days. When it lands, do me a favor. Share it. Send it to actors you know. Send it to the business people you know. It doesn't matter which one. If you know someone who should be in that room, put it in front of them. Because the more people in that conversation now, the more people can now choose how this plays out for them instead of having to decide later. Somebody else will decide for them. Same principle whether it's a call center agent, an audiobook, corporate narration, or character built for a game. It started with someone who said yes on their terms and knew exactly how their voice was going to be used. So, in recap, millions of calls are being answered by AI voices right now, and almost nobody's asking whose voice it actually is. We think that question matters. We built Hacks Labs to make sure it has an answer every single time. So guys, thank you for watching. I'm Hank Groff. This is Hacks Labs, and we'll see you next time.